So this is a viewer request. I had a question from a viewer about a particular schematic, and I thought it would be instructive for everyone, so let's go ahead and try to answer his question. So this is a schematic of a Hewlett-Packard power supply, and he had a question about a particular part of the circuit, and I'll kind of show it here. There is a second winding, and it generates some voltage, and there's some weird Zener diodes in here, and he was very confused about that. All right. So let's just give a brief overview of the schematic first, and then we'll go into detail of what's going on here. So the power comes in over here, goes into the primary of the transformer. There's another little secondary winding over here that generates some voltages that are required for circuits. And then there's the main part of the transformer here. This generates the big grunt voltage that will go to the output. The output is over on this side. This is the one terminal of the power supply. This is the other terminal of the power supply, so the ground and the plus. Shouldn't really call them grounds and plus because these supplies floats. We'll call it plus and minus. And so you can see that those are referenced. This one comes basically straight across to the bridge rectifier, and this one comes straight across here to the bridge rectifier. It's a center tap full wave rectifier. So this is where the raw voltage comes in. All right. There's the pass transistor. In fact, there's two in parallel. So this is the big transistor that gets hot on the back of the instrument. There's huge heat sinks on these instruments. All right. And then we have a section here that is a comparator. Make sure your voltage isn't too high. And then there's one up here. Make sure your current is not too high. So a current amplifier and a voltage amplifier. And then those two go into this thing, which is usually called the error amplifier. The error is either it's too big or it's too much. And then if it is, then it shuts down the regulator. So we'll talk about it. We'll talk about how that works, okay? So let's do that next. All right, so this is the simplest block diagram of this type of power supply. You have the raw power out here, okay? This is just unregulated power on a big capacitor. You have a pass transistor, and then you have terminals on the front of the instrument. So these two terminals on the front, plus and minus, and you have your load on the outside of the power supply. So inside the power supply, like I said, you have this pass transistor. Pass transistor is always turned on. There's some voltage plus V that turns this transistor on all the time. And so current is always passing through the transistor due to this bias here, right? All right. So you can turn the transistor off with this transistor, this PNP, and that goes into the error amplifier. So if the voltage is too high, you start turning this off. If the current is too high, you start turning this off. And so that's what the error amplifier does, okay? So what we want to understand is this plus V. What is that plus V? Well, it's enough to turn your transistor on, all right? And there is a VBE, voltage from base to emitter, and that needs to be above, 1 volt for this thing to turn on. As you draw more and more current, it requires more and more voltage to turn this thing on. You need a significant amount of voltage to turn this thing on at high current levels, all right? So we could do a thing where we could put a battery in here, okay? And that battery would turn this thing on. But where do we connect the negative? We could connect the negative to the ground. But if we want to be clever, we connect it here. So we always are looking at the base emitter voltage. This is a voltage across the base emitter. It's current limited by this resistor here, but it is a voltage from the base to the emitter. And so that's what we want in the circuit. So if this voltage goes up or this voltage goes down on the emitter, we always have the correct biasing on the transistor, okay? So let's go look at the real schematic and see how that battery is put into the circuit. All right, so from the other schematic, you can see that these transistors here need to be turned on. They're turned on through this resistor, and they are turned off by this transistor. Okay, so we've already drawn all of this circuit. Now we need to have a bias on the transistor here to make sure it's on all the time. And we could just put in a battery and we'd be done. But we need to have some voltage. So that voltage is supplied from this over here. We have 26 volts right here. And so the plus voltage goes in to turn these transistors on. And then you need to tie the bottom of this somewhere. You could tie it down here to the ground, but what they do is they tie it to the emitter. So basically you're putting a battery between the emitter and the base. You're biasing the VBE with this battery. Think of this as a battery. And that's all it's doing. Now it has a couple extra Zener diodes in here to move the voltages for their liking. They probably have one transformer and it happened to be 26 volts and they needed to offset that a little bit to make it work okay. And they can tune it with these Zener diodes here. But that keeps these transistors on in their happy place. And that is what's going on. So let's kind of redraw this. We could have a battery, okay? And that battery connects to here. And the battery connects to here. So this battery just follows the emitter. As the emitter goes up, then the battery just follows it, right? And by having a winding here that has no ground reference, it's like having a battery that floats up and down. There you go. I hope it helps, but that's what's going on in this power supply.